of Loud About Nothing. It's me, your boy, the hottest dude in the podcast game, Sebastian Conelli. And as always, per usual, we got the cute boy here himself, Robbie boy. Robbie, say hello to the beautiful people.
What is good, beautiful people? Hottest dude in the podcast game.
Squad.
Let's go. Been true since day one.
Yeah. All right. Let's address it.
Let's address it.
We gotta. It wouldn't be our duties. I mean, it is what it is.
Sweep. Where's the broom? I mean, I guess not a full sweep, but pretty much a sweep.
Pretty much a sweep, right? As
Gentleman's sweep.
As what does that mean?
That's like when a team wins 4 games to 1.
You leave one.
It's like you let them win 1 because it's embarrassing.
Thank you. That's a gentleman's sweep.
So a gentleman's sweep from Anora.
Everyone that listens here, I'm sure you guys already know that I was in the movie Anora. I played the I believe in the description.
Working class hero.
Thank you so much. I was described as the hot tow truck driver when Sean sent me the breakdown for the parts.
Yeah.
Must
be sexy.
That was the only rules. He said the rules for the tow truck driver was number 1, hot as could be. Number 2, New York, I guess.
Can learn a New York accent.
He goes, you can't teach sexy, but you can teach a New York accent.
Absolutely.
That's what Sean kept telling me. I go, okay, so him and I worked on it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, this is beautiful. This is very exciting for me. It's something that's special. It's something that only, I know I had a small role in it, but I felt like when I was thinking about it last night, I was going to bed, I go, I'm a good enough actor to be in an Academy Award-winning movie.
Absolutely.
And it's blew me away.
That's great.
You're
a great actor.
I couldn't sleep last night. I was
That's
excited.
I mean, you should be.
That was the last time. The last time I couldn't sleep was when I was going to Disney at 12 because I was so excited. I was having that energy in my bed.
Mornings?
I mean, after like 14. I mean, whatever.
It
but
dies
like,
down.
It dies down. But I couldn't sleep. I was so thinking about stuff and excited, and I'm just thinking about the whole idea that people will see it forever.
People will see it forever. That's what's very cool.
Yeah,
it's in a lot of different Hall of Fames.
I know.
Which is cool. On a world scale, on the indie scale, on the mass scale, on the movie nerds, the Criterion Collection. It's just people will always see this movie. And you have a good scene.
I am really in it. And I think, and so I had Robbie came over, my parents came over, and as the Patreon members know, I called my mom. I made it about her. Here's the thing. As a son from Staten Island.
Which you didn't have to do.
No.
And then he complains when it's all around. This is the dynamic.
What did I complain about?
No, you don't. But sometimes you'll
what did I complain about?
Sometimes you'll go, my mother this, my mother that. And it's like
you feed
into it. You feed into it.
I've been trying to cut that out a little bit.
Yes, that's good.
Because if I'm going to, I can't have my cake and eat it too.
Exactly.
So I'm letting her.
I'm like, I don't know. She's not even doing anything wrong. He's feeding this whole thing. You're going to make all the food for me, Mom, right? You're coming over.
Let's just say this. So
okay,
they came over. Let me say that I worked. I tried.
You did a lot of work. Yeah. He did a lot of work.
I didn't
not cook. I shouldn't say cook.
No, yeah,
I'm sorry.
Please, my mom was on the couch, and I didn't even. Let's just get.
She was orchestrating.
My mom. I did not watch the first half of the Oscars. Because
I
was preparing.
Awards that
I would
Anora
run
won.
in from the awards as I was cooking food. But it was if anything, last night was a night for my mother,
which is beautiful.
And I made sure to call her. I go, we need to be together. We need to be together for this. And then she goes. Every other award, she looks at me, and it wins. First off, let's just say this: I'm a UCB guy. I've done much stuff at UCB, and the first award that Anora wins is given by Amy Poehler, which is just so.
That is really beautiful.
The universe working together as like an improviser, you know?
Yes. She started the school.
She started UCB,
the school that you learned a lot and
that I
rose up the ranks and got an agent from and all that stuff.
Yeah, I still perform at.
And you got to do improv in the movie.
And I got to improvise in the movie.
You did improv. Yeah, exactly.
So when it wins Best Screenplay, I go.
Sebastian had the tow truck driver had 3 lines in the screenplay that we saw, and he's all over the seat. So we love that.
That's how you do it.
His voice is the whole scene.
You sneak it in.
Fucking this, fucking that. I've been working. I just got on the job. Fuck the Russians. I mean, Sebastian's a human soundbite. So you need sound bites. He's great.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So how many F words were in the movie Anora?
490 something, maybe 494. It's in the top 1%, I would say, of movies that feature the F word.
Go ahead. Well, you'll check that out. But
479 times.
So the movie Anora had the F word 479 times. Your boy dropped 10 of those boys. Your boy got 10 of those F-bombs in there. And you know what? To be dropped, for a person that got in trouble for cursing, that now my mom is sitting next to me celebrating that I got to say curses in front of her.
I think
I couldn't say an F word in front of her, but all of a sudden you put me in a movie, let them fly.
You might have had the most F words per minute on screen.
I might have the most
I think you did.
bang for your buck F words in the whole damn
movie. That won Best Picture.
I might have the most F words, right?
Yeah.
Words to F words.
Words to F words ratio.
In the movie Anora, your boy might have taken that home.
Yeah.
Last
I think
night.
Maybe so.
And you know what?
Which is beautiful.
There was none in the scripts.
0.
But I knew the vibe.
He knew the vibe. He got in there.
I got in there. Sean made it clear. We knew the vibe. We go in.
Yeah.
So last night was a night that I was happy, but it was my mother. It was so beautiful to spend it with my mom, and she brought up how much she taught us to love movies,
which is beautiful.
Multiple times. She brought it up to you, to me, to everyone in the room.
Well, yes, she did.
She brought it up to my other sister on the phone this morning.
Oh,
my
really?
other sister called me. So my mom's out here. My mom's on a press campaign right now about Sebastian winning is in a movie that won an Oscar. My mom is doing Good Morning America, a.k.a. calling her cousin's cousin to talk about me.
As she should.
My mom, it's amazing. My mom's on a press tour for me having one scene in an Oscar movie.
I love this.
She's hitting me up. She's sending screen grabs
I love it.
Of someone that she knew that she used to work with. That she is over the moon. This is the biggest thing that ever happened to my mother. See, my mom might never. I think my mom realized. She goes, I might never see my son get married.
Okay.
But we have tonight.
I love it. She needs her own King Richard.
What's that?
That's the movie that Will Smith won. It was the movie about him, and it's his 2 daughters are Serena and Venus Williams.
My mother is King Richard.
She needs her own King Richard.
My mother is the most beautiful version of King Richard and Abby Lee Miller combined. And I only mean that in a beautiful way.
Absolutely.
Only in a beautiful way. So do not tell me that I'm being offensive. Because if you don't think Abby Lee Miller is beautiful, go check yourself. Abby Lee Miller is a queen. If ever I'm in a scooter, I'm only going backwards. Shout out Abby Lee. Only the real ones know. Please pause the podcast, go type in Abby Lee Miller Furious Scooter. I talk about my muses. She's one of my muses, Abby Lee.
Absolutely.
From day one. She's
As
a
she
day
should
one.
be.
It wins the best screenplay.
That was the first one.
I'm high-fiving everyone.
Yeah.
It's awkward. How often do you high-five your father?
Not often.
Right? Me neither. The only time I think I've ever high-fived my dad was a Super Bowl and when Anora won Best Picture.
Oh, really?
I was
going to say your guy's not a huge sports family.
No.
Sports is the high five. That's when you high five.
That's when when people high-five their fathers is sports.
Yes.
I mean, me and my dad hug.
Yeah.
But we
You're
high-fived.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, I give everyone a high-five. He goes, come over here. Give me a hug.
Oh, I love that.
He goes, get over
Your
here.
dad's great.
He goes, get over here. I need a hug.
I mean, they're artistic people.
They're
They
artistic.
did prioritize movies, which
You gotta
is
hit
good.
that R when you say artistic.
Artistic. I know. You really got
You really hit a soft R on that one, Rob.
The accent
Please.
a little bit.
I know, but with that word, we
Artistic.
gotta hit the R.
Artistic family.
Thank you. They are artistic.
Which is nice.
Well, and so the first award happens. I'm high-fiving everyone. And my mom, she looks like her eyes look like the outside of the car from Titanic.
Okay.
Covered in moisture. She looks at me, welled eyes, and she goes, "Are you happy?" And I go to her, I go, "Are you happy?" And she goes, more than anything.
Incredible.
I mean, we have to.
I mean, that's nice.
It is a
that's
win
beautiful.
for my mom.
Absolutely.
If we don't, like, think about wars wars in the past were fought over families.
Okay.
And this is us.
Yeah.
We have to celebrate the wins. And I think
Yes.
that she did a great job, and I'm celebrating the win last night. I'm so happy that she was here to celebrate the win.
Absolutely.
Now, she brought food because I said, oh, we're gonna do Coney Island food.
Yeah,
right?
which was fun.
Which was
Coney
fun.
Island themed.
We had it was just a couple of people here.
Which we came up with on the Patreon.
We came up with on the Patreon, and but my mom and my sister are here, and they came in the door. And my mom's cooking. My mom's not cooking. She's like moving. She's like sitting in a chair, bossing me around what to do.
Okay.
And I go like this. I go, Mom, it's just us. We got to take a breath. She's like preparing for us to go sit in the other room, like bossing me around. I'm like, Mom, no one's coming. No one's coming. Yeah. It's just the fam right here, right? Yeah. It's just, oh, do I have to worry about Rob coming in and then throwing a wrench in it all? She's like bossing me. It's the same thing with the holidays I've talked about.
Yeah.
We're rushing and so much anxiety over us.
Yes, a small group.
I had to tell her, Mom, we got to be relaxed. We got to be relaxed. Because I think she was nervous.
I mean, that was the one thing. If it lost, it would have been a little awkward. I'm like, if it wins, you need your mother there, obviously.
If it lost, I needed her there more.
You think so? I mean,
I think I needed her there more.
Yeah.
She would have. If it lost, the eyes my mom would have gave me.
I mean,
it would have been Academy Award winning look. It would have been like a picture says 1,000 words. Your mother says 1,000 words. My mother with her eyes. It would have been, I love you so much. I'm sorry. Are you okay? That's all her eyes would have been saying.
Yeah.
But she's bossing me around, and I'm like, we got to calm down. She finally goes inside. Spent the whole first half just pumping food out. And my mom, she does this
Which was
thing.
good.
People do this thing where they go, especially older people. Older people do this thing where they go, oh my God, I'm so full. I can't eat another bite. Oh God, I can never. I'm so full. I'm sick. Rob, eat more. Rob, what are you doing? You're not going to eat a little more? What are you doing? You're starving. Come on. What, the food's going to go to waste. Me, I could never. I had one, right? It's this idea that, like, to talk about, especially, like, boomer women, I'm assuming, right? Because of, let's just get it out of the way, the body, like, what the beauty standard was and that you had to be on constant diets and stuff like that is disgusting. So that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
But we don't want to look too deep so we can laugh.
Okay. And they need to provide. They need to make sure everybody's fed.
They need to. Yes.
That's their main role.
That's their role.
All of this. But anyways.
Yes, you're right. But she's just around the room. Oh, I'm so full. Eat! The word full to eat should never be back to back. And she's watching, and I'm just running in and out of the kitchen.
It was good. The food was really good. I ate a lot.
You did, but I always could count on you.
I can eat.
You know what?
What?
It's good to have friends that you know are gavones.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like
I agree.
I feel bad for people that don't have friends that they can't just be absolute gavones and disgusting pigs with.
We're more likely to be good friends if you can eat a lot. Like, I don't know what to say. We go out to dinner, we can get a bunch of plates.
I feel so bad for people that don't.
A lot of my close friends, we can just order a ton of plates and we'll all eat.
The sadness.
We're not worried about, is the food going to go?
No.
It's nice. I agree. My friend I went out to dinner with recently, he's showing me pictures of steaks that he ate. He goes, I sat down, had a porterhouse for two, just myself. He showed me the bone as we're at dinner.
That's a beautiful
and we're both
thing.
Marveling over it. I'm texting him. I'm like, I've been thinking about that steak for a week. I didn't even eat it. He ate it.
That's a relationship you want.
100%.
You want a relationship where indulging is part of it.
Yeah. The culture is centered around food. There's so many cultures centered around food.
Well, they say
and enjoying a plentiful, diverse meal is one of the best things I like to do in my life.
There's like this a study that I saw that couples that indulge together are happier.
I can imagine.
Because of course.
Yeah.
You know who?
That's got to be terrifying to be in a relationship all the time that you can't
indulge. Of course you should have things that are like routines. It shouldn't be a daily occurrence, right? But you should be able to indulge with someone.
Yeah.
To live a life where you two don't get to just enjoy something together feels very sad to me.
Yeah, I guess some people get full quickly. I can't relate. That's just not something that I can relate to.
There's this myth out there, Robbie.
Yeah.
It's this word. I always have trouble pronouncing it. Fula. Fula.
Yeah,
I heard about this thing. It's from a board. It's slowly through whispers of the concrete. I've heard of this thing, fula.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but they say once while you consume, at a certain point, your body goes, stop. And I go,
Yeah.
I've only experienced that running. I go, is it like running when you've done a quarter mile and you're done? This fa'ula feeling? Is this fa'ula feeling like, I don't know, when you've been studying for a half hour and you go, too much, too much. I've heard about this, and I would love. My dream one day is to experience this fa'ula that people talk about. I feel like it's an oracle on a mountain. But just to to get that like feeling of like just being a little piggy boy. My family did a great job of teaching us how to be pigs.
Same. We can eat.
Yeah. And so we're watching the show, and I'm running in and out, and I never really get too stinky. Right? Do you think I'm a stinky man?
No. Like sweaty?
No, I get sweaty, but
like smelling from BO.
Smelly, yeah.
Yeah, no. Why?
I don't have that luxury. Fat people don't. We don't get the luxury to smell bad. That was something that was taken away from us years ago.
Okay.
That was something that was fat people aren't allowed to smell bad. I tell you this: fat people have tremendous. Two things you can count on fat people. I have a few things.
Okay.
Right? A few things. One, empathetic. Two, great shoes. Three, always have good cologne and perfume.
Okay.
I can tell you this about fat people. They always have those things. They're empathetic. They always go good at great accessories.
Okay.
The best accessories in the game are done by fat people. Why? Because when we go to normal stores, that's the department we're in.
And the fashion's not as accessible.
The fashion's not accessible, so we got to pop an earring. We got to pop a bag. We got to pop a shoe. Fat people trip some of the best. You want to learn how to accessorize something? Look to your fat friends.
Okay.
Because they know how to put a piece together. Because all they're rocking is a plain DXL t-shirt.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. The third thing is they always smell good. We don't have the luxury of being stinky. Everyone goes, oh, fat people hate hiking. Fat people, they don't like walk. No, we're just scared we might smell.
Okay.
It's a double-edged sword there. But, so, thank you for saying that I don't smell. But last night I was getting a little stinky.
Oh, really?
Well, because I was running so much. And I'm running. I'm not watching any of that. You told me about a whole FDNY bit I missed.
Oh, yes.
I missed whole bits of the... I watched the Oscars more intently on nights that I didn't have a horse in the race.
Okay.
And I'm doing it. I'm like... I got all the food out, all the hot food, and... I finally pack. I finally finish. I go, that's it. And I sit down and make a plate. I wanted fake cheese.
Oh, yes.
One of my things I absolutely wanted for this was fake cheese.
With Nathan's fries.
We had it with Nathan's fries.
Which was good.
Robbie?
We had a good platter of Brooklyn food.
Knishes.
Or Coney Island food, we'll say.
Knishes, some hot dogs.
Yeah. Nathan's fries. Some chicken fingers.
There's something about fake cheese. It's one of the only food items that the faker it gets, somehow the more enjoyable it gets for fake cheese.
I don't know if I'm going that far.
Rob,
I like fake cheese, but I love real cheese.
I love real cheese too.
I love real cheese.
But I'll tell you this.
And the flavors, I love real cheese.
There's a middle that I don't want to exist in.
Like American cheese?
American cheese I don't want to exist in, but
You'd rather just go all the way.
I'd rather go that they squeeze it out of a plastic bag.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something about me that I'd rather go full nacho cheese.
You just like nacho cheese, which is maybe its own
or cheese
thing.
whiz.
Cheese whiz, yeah.
Or the Auntie Anne's cheese that you get with that.
I get that every time.
Right? Isn't that bomb?
Yeah. You like this genre of cheese.
I think
like mall cheese.
Yeah, I think
call it
mall cheese.
It's pretty, like, yeah.
It's a mall cheese.
The movies, you get it at the mall, yeah.
It's tremendous. And I'm a fan. I like Gruyere. I like Parmigiano Reggiano, right? I'm a fan of good cheese.
Yeah.
But there's a time and place where you get to enjoy bad cheese.
Yeah, would you get it in like high school and middle school? You could get the nacho cheese with chips or no?
Nah, never.
In a little thing. We were able to do that too.
So we were a movie family, but we wouldn't buy. We would maybe buy popcorn
At the movies.
Yeah.
I'm talking about at school.
Oh no.
No, like at lunch. Yeah,
No.
that was offered at lunch for like a $1.50 add-on.
Oh no.
You could get Cheese Whiz and tortilla chips.
Well, there was this beautiful thing that when I was in high school that happens that that New York City, New York State, or whatever, I don't know, one of those, right? New York started saying we need to make food healthy in schools. So that's when they got rid of. So they go, how are we going to make food healthy in schools? We're going to add Snapple vending machines to all the schools.
I remember.
You don't remember that?
We got Snapple too. I don't know if it was the same effort, but we got Snapple. Was the drink.
Snapple was.
You could get water in Snapple.
In the 2000s, that was the health conscious choice.
Yeah.
That was.
I had Snapple almost every day in middle school.
It was made from the greatest stuff on earth.
Greatest stuff on earth.
And
You got a fun fact too.
What does that mean? Nothing.
Nobody knows.
Made from the greatest stuff on earth is the devil's trick.
And it's tea. Some of them have fruit in it. I would get a peach Snapple. A lot.
A fruit punch Snapple was only sugar.
Yeah.
There was
fruit punch Snapple's great.
Fruit punch to be like
best stuff on earth.
We gotta get these kids healthy. What do we need? Get them a fruit punch Snapple. Truly, and you're right. The facts, they're like, we'll improve their bodies and their brains, and then we find out half the facts are false.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that there was like a difference. Some were like true facts and some were Snapple facts.
I would have teachers that would be like, all right, announce the Snapple fact. It was like a big deal. Yeah. It was fun. It was like a fun little game.
Snapple really was like, we're going to be the healthy. It's funny to think about in the 2000s, the things that were like, we're going to be the healthy thing.
I know. You had to do the bare minimum.
I mean, for me, I grew up as a person that was overweight in the 2000s. I grew up on Snapple and 100-calorie Chips Ahoy packs.
Yeah, I've had a lot of those too.
Which is what? They just make a Chips Ahoy into a cracker?
Yeah.
That's what they said. They go,
let's make them both worse.
Yes, let's make a bad cracker out of a cookie. A bad cookie cracker. That is a 100-calorie snack pack.
Yeah.
They said, Reese's, make it a cracker.
And then you would just eat a bunch of them because you're chasing something that doesn't exist, which is an actual Chips Ahoy cookie. At that point, you'd rather have one Chips Ahoy cookie.
Truly, the 100-calorie snack packs were the original receipts. Because you would just be like, oh, look how many I have around.
I know.
That's how I accidentally started counting calories, was because I would see.
Count the bags.
I would
200,
see
300, 400, 500.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, of course. I've been there.
You accidentally go, oh, God.
Yeah. You have a sleepover, you could kill a whole box.
Easy.
Yeah.
And your mom just, she was like, they're eating something healthy.
Yeah.
They're drinking Snapple and eating 100-calorie snack packs. 2000's health.
Yeah.
It was incredible. So I'm making the food and stuff like that, and my mom just keeps going. I finally sit down. I get the cheese. I'm eating my first plate, really.
Yes.
And my mom goes, "We're ready for Venetian hour." Yes. I'm sitting down to enjoy it. I think we're all ready. My mom is.
This is true.
When she wants to make a point, she goes, and she's a master at this. She goes, I think we're all ready for. She makes it everyone, and you go, yeah, ready. I think we're all ready for Venetian hour, Sebastian.
I said I don't even know what the Venetian hour is because she kept saying it, and I'm like, what is it? I was thinking it was the cocktail hour.
No,
it's the after hour. It's dessert.
It's dessert.
And I'm
it's
like, what is
Venetian?
I'm thinking wedding because I'm thinking like high scale.
Well, that's what it is. It's from Venice. It was after the food. There would be like walk around like sweets and stuff like that.
And I also thought she was talking about the people on TV were gonna have a Venetian hour because they're dressed up.
I know, and I'm wearing champion shorts.
So I was confused because I was just like, I just was confused. Was she being funny or
no?
Venetian hour. That's what you guys call dessert.
No.
Okay.
No,
so
but she's not being
funny.
No, she's not being funny. She's in her mind. This is her class. Was my wedding.
Okay. I see now. Okay, I see the
That's
connection.
that's why I brought it up
This
in the
was the
beginning.
wedding. Yeah, I
this
see.
Was,
Okay.
My wedding was 7 people at my family at my home watching my television.
Yes.
As my mom bossed me around. Yeah, that's why she brought up Venetian Hour.
I see. I'm thinking she's talking about the people on the TV. Because they're in the gowns and suits.
Nah, just like how I didn't grow up. My mom liked to throw. I grew up in a family where we threw fancy words around.
That's fun.
As we were not wealthy. Poor,
That's fun.
Right? So we didn't have a lot of money, but we threw fancy words around, right? We didn't eat dessert. It was a Venetian hour. We didn't have a hallway. We had a vestibule.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? We didn't have a balcony. We had a promenade.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We would just throw
out on the promenade.
My mom would go, oh, you can't walk out. My mom would literally say the sentence. She goes, oh, you can't walk out on the promenade. It's broken.
That's amazing.
I go, Ma, I just
I
want
love
a
this.
working balcony.
Yeah.
No, the promenade. Yeah, they're if you step on it, it'll collapse.
I love.
My mom didn't.
This is imagination.
She painted a fantasy.
That's beautiful.
My mom would lie on it, as we all know. My mom's a Shea Lounge person.
Okay.
We didn't have couches. She had a Shea Lounge.
That's true. You've said that.
She has a Shea Lounge. My mom uses fancy words.
Yeah, I like that.
So I get the Venetian hour. And my sister does a great job. She's so great. She brought so many good cookies. So excited for the theme, yada, yada, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
It was great to see, like, of course, it's nice. Of course, it's my family, and it's cool, nice to see them excited for me.
Yeah, of course.
As my dad says, your job's being an actor sucks so much.
Yes.
Doing this stuff sucks so much. You need to enjoy the benefits.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and it was when it won. I don't know, man. I was so excited.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And Sean's a real class act.
Yeah, the speech was great. I mean, coming after whatever Adrian Brody did. It was really nice to have somebody on stage with a point, with a call to action, with passion.
Well, to an audience that will hear that call and can actively do something.
And the audience at home.
Yes.
Even more so.
That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah,
right. The people watching the television are like, oh, I do love him in this movie. I should go to the movies more.
If I fell in love with movies at the movies.
Yeah, me too.
I love the movies.
I love the movies too. And I sadly think that places like iPix and Alamo Drafthouse are hurting the movie experience. We need just normal movie theaters that aren't thousands of dollars to go to. That you're not like, oh, you have to have a meal. And I think that it should be, we need, I think keep them and keep other places too, you know?
Yeah. I just love places with a lot of personality. Like I like to go to try a bunch of different pizza spots. When I first moved to the city, I went to like tons of pizzerias, tons of bagel shops, tons of ice cream shops, and tons of movie theaters. Like those are my 4 things that I'm like, because A, they're not super expensive.
Yeah.
You can go see a ton of them, and there's just ones in New York City that have a lot of personality.
And which ones did you like?
I love Angelica.
Yeah.
Obviously. The Village East that just got bought by Angelica.
Nice.
Is a nice movie theater.
Yeah.
It's just fun to go to a new one, though. It's like I would go to BAM, or like you go to even the Lincoln Center, AMC. I've had plenty of great nights at the Regal Union Square. Yeah, of course.
My jam was Court Streets, and I loved it
Court
so
Street.
much.
I love Court Street.
Because it had so much personality.
Yes.
It was, the movie experience was an experience with the people you were with.
100%.
I remember, I think I've told this, I saw King Kong, and it was probably the funniest person I've ever experienced the movie with. Just start standing up making jokes about King Kong in the middle of the movie. It was truly uproarious laughter.
Fun. Yeah.
And I mean, like, no better movie to see than a bad King Kong movie where someone's just getting up commenting on the movie and everyone's on board. Now that's
amazing.
Like, literally,
that's movie magic.
Literally, the monkey at the end goes like this. Like they like kiss, and the monkey goes like this, and the guy just gets up. He goes, "That monkey wants them to fuck." And everyone literally went nuts in the theater.
That's so fun.
And you know what's great about Court Street too? You could just bring beer. Like, people would just sneak beer in and openly drink. And
really?
I would smoke my weed vape pen in the theater.
Those are fun movie theaters.
I saw Elton John movie there. Me and my friends are just singing along to every song.
Yeah, that's fun.
And I believe that just like any other art form, you should be picking it. Every venue, affects the medium.
Absolutely.
Like I would not go see the Brutalist there.
in
Court
AMC.
Street.
Yeah,
or AMC, right?
Yeah,
That's you go to a place like BAM.
Yes.
Because I saw great movies in BAM, and they give it respect. People are very focused and watching, and it's like, but I do think that we are losing movie theaters like Court Street that are like a little fun.
Yeah, personality more.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
I saw one of the Bond movies on the Harlem AMC, and it was incredible.
Oh yeah, I've heard this. I've never been, but
it was we had a blast. Everyone's talking. People are yelling. But we're all like laughing together
at the movie.
People
Which
are
is
making
fun.
jokes about the movie.
It feels more. I mean, you're a live performer.
Yes.
And when you're in an audience like that, it starts to feel like you're at a theater.
Yeah.
And that's kind of some filmmakers. That's what they're trying to play to. I think when people get into making movies, their vision is that it's being viewed at a theater. Maybe not everybody, but like a lot of the directors I would say that got inspired to make movies that are prominent today, Tarantino, whatever, everybody, they got inspired by the movie theaters. Not like, oh, this is going to go home and be watched on home video.
Think about how sad it would be to be like a little kid who dreams of being a director, to be like, one day I hope I sell my movie to Paramount Plus.
I know.
I hope one day people stream it on their iPhones.
I know. Which is not what you want.
I am a live performer, so that's probably why those theaters speak to me, because I do it for reactions and stuff like that. I like performing for the reaction and the response.
Which Anora is that.
Yeah, and I think that's also why comedy movies have slowly been dying too. Well, among other reasons, but like comedic movies because that's best with other people.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, live comedy is great, and that's because you're all sharing a experience together.
I always talk about when I'm teaching. I'm like, being great at comedy is being able to like exist in a room with a lot of other people and speak to the energy that's happening.
I agree 1,000%.
Like
that's why comedy is so easy to do in like an office space, because you're deprived of it.
To speaking to
you
reality.
Can't speak to the energy. It's like every day you have to live this life that nobody is speaking to the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And it just becomes more and more insane, so that like once you start doing it, you're the funniest person in the world. Nobody can believe that you're talking like this. Like,
it's insane that we start living in a world where you can't, that in general, we've created a world that speaking to the truth isn't the norm.
Yeah.
Which is
unfortunate.
I mean, I'm lucky enough that I don't work corporates.
Yes.
And I just like, that's what's so beautiful about great movies is they speak to truth. Great comedy, they speak to truth, right? It's sad.
I know, it's been, I'm like departed from that a little bit, and I do have a job. And sometimes I remember I'm like, I can't be just totally unhinged all the time. But I am still in a lot of settings. Like I maybe tone it back one click.
I worked for a company. I signed an NDA. I can't say where it is.
Okay.
But I wish I could.
Okay.
Because trouble.
That's all you can say.
I mean, nothing bad has come out about them, but they can't be good. I did like a week thing for them, right? And we were in a meeting, all sitting around, and it was like one of the first times I'm like actually at an office table, and then everyone was just everyone would just speak to be heard. It was like my first corporate. It was interesting to be in a corporate environment when you're never there, because I felt everything was like, oh, this is so weird. I noticed that at a corporate table, everyone just speaks so they feel like they're important.
Yes, it's a lot of justifying nonsense.
Everyone just has to say a word to be like, remember, I'm here and I deserve to be paid.
Yes.
And at a certain point, I put my head on the desk and I went like this. I go, we all don't need to talk. We're all just saying the same thing over and over again.
Really? That's what it is.
I went like this. I go, can I leave and write?
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to be writing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And like,
this is most of what you have to do.
And this is me.
No, you have to massage their egos. Every single person, you have to make them feel good about it. That's the hardest part for me that was working in those types of environments.
It's the egos.
Is that you can't speak to reality, and you have to make other people feel good about themselves, because then they'll like you, and then they'll promote you, and it's like a mind game that who wants to fucking play? It's like, why am I spending so much emotional energy and time on all of these mind games? Ugh. Meanwhile, all we're doing is trying to see if the richest hedge funds on the planet have enough money that they could collapse. I'm like, I hope they all collapse. Like, It was brutally.
That's insane, man. It was,
I knew someone when I was working at JP Morgan,
Uh-huh.
and he would just be on calls all day, and just like call A. He's like, oh, I need to get the information from call D. Like, that's my only update, but like we're working on it, whatever. Call B. He's like, oh, I need the things from call A. Like, oh, but this is call C. He needs the things from call B. Call D. He needs the things from call C. And he's just like all day on calls, just speaking nonsense.
That's incredible.
We're doing nothing.
That's insane.
And
That's
I'm like,
insane.
this is beautiful. This is how we take down capitalism.
Oh my God.
And then he would come in every day. It was just a new story every day, but it was iconic. He was one of my favorite people that I worked with because he had he realized that it was fake, and he showed up and did his fake bullshit. But like in his heart, I think he just knew the stakes could not be lower.
Well, something that you've been talking about a lot that is starting to, I see a trend online, is that people working at fast food places are just giving a lot of French fries.
Oh, I love this.
Just
I have been
because-
talking about this. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how somebody would side with their boss. Like at a certain point, you're not making enough money. You can just go get another job. Like, all right,
Give
you
us
get
a
fired from Wendy's, I'll go to work at Burger King. I get fired. Like, they need you. Like, I think people need to realize at a certain point, these companies need you, and you, like, they can only fire. Like, what do you, like, the worst case scenario is you get fired, and then you can just go find a new job, I guess, somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
If everybody starts doing it, though.
If everyone starts.
I mean, I have a friend now
And-
who's like in a similar situation, and he's like, I'm gonna be homeless. Like, I'll get evicted if I don't. Which is why they want to keep everything so low and whatever, so that literally you have to do a good job or you'll be homeless.
In those jobs, if you miss like a week of work, you
get fired.
I meant like if like say you get fired and you miss a week of work, your like life is ruined.
Yes.
Because that's how little money you get in
Yes.
those positions, which is terribly sad, and they know that, and
Yes.
that's why you're stuck doing it. But there is this trend that they're like giving everyone extra fries.
I love that.
Because it's like, why not?
That's how I feel. That's why I'm
not-
like the guy at Chipotle. I'm like, come on, hook it up. Like,
It's
we're in this together.
insane.
I'll help you out if you help me out. Let's cut out the middleman that is Chipotle. Like, why are
Yeah.
like, this is how we
Wait,
need to
how are you
start.
gonna help him out?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. But if I start going every week,
I had to ask.
but I'm good to the people that hook me up.
How are you good?
I come back a lot. I'll offer like, I don't know. I'll come buy him beer or something. I'll give him weed.
Now we're playing.
Yeah.
Now we're playing.
What do you guys want? I used to get free chicken fingers all the time.
And you used to throw
What do you
those?
guys want? Yeah.
You used to say, "What do you guys want?"
I would be like, yeah, I would get a beer. I think I bought a 6-pack once.
Oh,
Came
that's
down
nice.
Coronas. I'm like, well, yeah.
That's
I'm
great.
like, what
That
can
is
I get
giving.
you guys?
Yeah,
like, what
yeah.
can I do? The pizza guy, I think I was, but like that was also during COVID. I'm like, I'm trying to fucking take care of each other. But
Yeah, that is good. No, but that is an interesting trend.
yes,
But all to be said, last night was beautiful, and I'm someone that pushes. In all seriousness, I'm someone that doesn't absorb good things. Right? It's so easy to think about negative stuff. Right? Even
Yes.
last night, as I'm fantasizing, I'm thinking about like what, how could this go wrong? You know, right? Which is sick. But I
Okay.
think
that is sick.
I know, Rob. We work. You know, we work on it, but. And then I'm like trying to think positive, and I'm like I'm trying to soak in. I'm trying to soak this in.
That's good.
This is a beautiful thing. I'm part of something that was incredible, and how lucky am I to be a part of something like that? You know? And I feel
Very
really,
cool.
I feel really happy and really cool about it, and I feel happy that I got to do that. And I hope I get more experiences like that. I officially think I could say I'm an actor.
Yeah, for sure, an actor,
I mean, for sure.
artist, performer,
I'm like,
entertainer.
It's actually undeniable now.
Yeah,
It's actually would be crazy if I don't.
for sure an actor.
I mean, I've been in SAG for 10 years, but also
Yes.
now, today, this is how much of a...
But everybody is. This is what every single person that's in SAG is an actor. It's hard to get in SAG.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in SAG.
You have to
There's a lot of people that are actors in New York City that don't ever get in SAG.
I know.
Um,
And they're still actors. And
Yeah.
that was my own mental hurdle, and I don't want to affect those people.
100%.
Right? But I feel like I'm officially, like, when people say, what do? I could say that, and I could say that, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Very awesome.
Very
aligned, it feels, I would say. It's cool.
With
Amy
me.
Poehler gave the first Oscar to Anora.
I know, man.
It's cool. It's about Brooklyn, your dad's so excited. His dad was rocking this shirt, which is the picture of the cyclone, which we love.
Where my dad grew up going to, that was their little.
Yeah, that's
their vacation. They would go to Coney Island.
Lived on Staten Island. I lived at my grandma's. Sebastian was living at his parents on Staten Island for like 6 months. And I mean, I look back sometimes and we were doing it on Zoom from 2 different houses on Staten Island.
And then we'd edit in the same place.
Edit in the same place.
I drive over to.
We spent all day, every day, doing Staten Island stuff. Like
at the gym.
Yeah, at the gym. We're like trying to figure out what the F the world is.
Walking around looking for blue herons.
But
truly.
But he would come over, and my grandma has like pretty severe dementia.
Yeah.
At that point, it's really severe now, but at the point, it was getting worse. And every single day that he would come over,
you got to spend that time.
It is really beautiful.
I'm happy about that.
And my grandma grew up one stop from Coney Island, walking distance. And every single time that you came over, we would just talk about Coney Island and her growing up in Brooklyn.
And she loved it.
She loved it. That was her big memory. That was my biggest takeaway from living with my grandma at that time, was just like how much she, in her whole life, the thing she remembers the most is the community that she built in Brooklyn, and that she loved that, and that she just thought about that every day. And like, she remembers the day she moved to Staten Island, and she did not have a good time the first day she moved to Staten Island. And like, I'm sure she learned to love Staten Island and certain things about Staten Island, but I think what she loved the most was the community. She would just talk about how she would sit on the stoop and how she would play every day, and her friends would go to the Coney Island and Coney Island every day. We would talk about it. So it was cool. It's cool that this movie is both of where our families are from.
I mean, my dad still doesn't say he's from. He goes, "I'm from Brooklyn." He's still. I told
he doesn't
my
say
parents,
New York. He doesn't say Staten Island.
No, he says Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I tell my parents.
Same with my dad.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't want to claim Jersey for sure, and he doesn't really claim Staten Island either.
No.
And he moved when he was 10. My dad.
I told my. Oh, really?
Yeah, he moved from Brooklyn when he was 10.
Damn, he still claims it.
Yeah.
I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, you've been living in Staten Island longer than Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He goes, don't tell me that. That's how gross Staten Island is. That people, your dad moved to Staten Island when he was 10. My dad has lived in Staten Island longer than Brooklyn, and they both will still go, I'm from Brooklyn. And we tell them the facts.
Yes.
We'll lay the facts down. They go, those aren't real.
Yeah.
Those aren't real. Don't you disrespect me like that.
Yeah.
So,
but it's cool. It's cool that they made a movie that really highlights the beauty of that part of Brooklyn, because it's not what people think about when they think of Brooklyn.
No. But that was something that I got to experience having Russian friends. I told you I went to one of those places like that. My buddy Phil, for his 21st birthday, had it in one of those Russian dance hall kind of situations. It was a blast.
I mean, you've lived this.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Which is
not the underbelly, but a different side of New York that a lot of people don't really get to see.
Yeah.
That you were very familiar with.
Sure. Yes.
Not
that
you were a sex worker, but you were.
But what?
In the world, more. You know what I'm like?
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, Rob.
Like, it was more likely that you would have a friend that would be a stripper than
I did.
Like,
I did. And
uppity person in Manhattan, or like a person in Williamsburg,
and I had
or like
friends. And I told you that like when I was like 18, kids they would go to New Jersey to go to the strip club.
Oh yeah. And when me and Sebastian first met, that's what he's talking about. There's 3 strip clubs in Sayreville, New Jersey. Because
kids from my hometown would be like,
yeah, of course.
So yes, I did.
People from my college would go to Sayreville, where I'm from,
to go
because there's 3 strip clubs in my hometown.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I definitely know people that did that stuff, and I only have love for. We're very on this podcast from day one.
Yes,
I mean, I'm buying sex toys by accident. That's how much I love them. Right? Like what are we talking here? Right? Yeah. I think. For me, I'm like, they're people. Be respectful. That's all we ask from everyone, right? Like, please, don't
talk down. Yeah,
don't talk down. It's beautiful, and I'm happy that stories like that are told, and that more of the general public, like even here, my parents talk positively about that stuff. Is great.
Which is good.
It is good. You know, it's that's what great art does.
Yeah.
Great art helps open conversations about things that need to be normalized or need to be shed light on, you know?
And these children of oligarchs moving to New York City and just seemingly being charming, but it's really just their playground for a little bit, and then they go back to their oligarch lives. That's relatable. Well,
Yeah.
that's something we feel.
Well, they're only he's only charming because he's rich and has drugs.
Yeah, I guess you're
Right. There's
And he
nothing.
talks crazy.
Yeah. There's nothing.
But shout out him. He's good in the
Yeah,
movie.
he's great.
He's great. He's so fun. Like,
But I
very
just want to
charming,
speak
very
to charm.
entertaining.
As a person that considers themselves charming,
Yes. You don't think he's that charming?
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's very
He's
likable.
quirky and
yeah,
likable.
Yes, quirky and likable. But no, yeah, it is. I don't know. It's nice.
It's very cool.
It's nice. It's nice. I feel happy.
If there's a best picture winner that if you were to make an emoji of it, it would be the nails emoji,
And that's
which is your favorite
that's
emoji.
the emoji I've been using since like
Yeah.
I don't know, forever. That's my
100%.
favorite emoji.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this 100 times on the podcast. That this is how much I love the nail emoji.
Yeah, of course.
Like
One of the first episodes. I
Really?
think we're talking about the nail emoji. Yeah. That's always been so. It's cool. I mean, if you were gonna choose a movie to be in over the last 10 years, I think
between this and La La Land.
I mean, any of them. I'm trying to think
I'm
of a
kidding.
movie you would rather the nails emoji movie that takes place in Brooklyn and won 5 Oscars.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And then, yeah, I feel good. I feel like I've been really aligning myself, really trying to take care of myself, and things are moving forward. I know some people have people praying for them. I know I got witches casting spells.
Oh, we got to thank the witches.
We gotta-
Patreon. We have some people that have done some heavy spells.
I know.
And
And,
heavy
like,
spells for us.
Here's the thing: people used to pray for them for their life to be good. Used to pray for their success. I got witches in my corner
Yes.
doing spells, and I know it. I'm positive that I have these
Absolutely.
these bad witches, these fucking baddies out there, literally writing my name, lighting it on fire. I know that. I don't think it doesn't go unnoticed.
100%.
I know that someone's lighting a candle and putting salt on my name.
I love that.
I'm throwing rosemary around. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, right?
Absolutely.
It would be embarrassing if I didn't thank the witches.
Yeah. We definitely are going to thank the witches.
They did more work than I did. Let's be
I
honest.
know.
They put it. I did a day. They must have put in hours. These
I love
witches.
this, yeah. So
And-
thank you to the witches. Always.
If I time travel, I'm going to Salem. I'm saving all you babes.
Yes.
I'm saving all the babes. Are you kidding me?
Um,
So I just want to say thank you to all the people out there putting positive, because I believe in positive energy.
of course.
And I said last night I was saying we got to get that positive energy in the room.
Yeah.
You know how happy I was today, Rob?
How happy?
You know how I knew I was happy?
How? What did you know?
I saw something high and I jumped up and touched it.
Oh, nice. You
That's
skipped.
that's how you know
You swoodalooed.
I swoodalooed.
Yeah, that's
You're right.
nice.
Exactly. I swoodalooed. And that's I had such childlike energy inside of me today that I swoodalooed and touched something high up in the air.
That's good. I love that.
If you ever see someone and there's something high and they reach to touch it, don't make fun of them. They're having an amazing day.
Yeah, they're in a good mood.
That's how men express happiness sometimes, is by touching high things.
Yes.
It's the man's
Jumping
version
up.
of going ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? That's our version of ooh is going ah.
I love that.
Right? And I jumped up and I touched something to see something and go, I could reach that. You know how good your mental state has to be?
Yeah.
And that's where I was as a dude to be like, I see something high, I gotta touch it.
I love this. Maybe this is why
Never-
LeBron's always in a good mood.
Be
He's always
100%.
jumping up and touching things. That's
He's
his job.
Always.
He's a silly boy.
Robbie, you
He's
just
kind of like
cracked
an
the code.
18-year-old still in a 40-year-old man's body
Because he reaches up and touches stuff.
all the time,
And you tell me,
professionally.
I've never seen someone sad. Have you ever seen someone angry and they go, I'm furious? That's not real.
No, you're right. That's
So-
just not the motion you do.
And I also just want to tell people this because I don't think people share this feeling that when men reach up and slap something, let them have it. This is a good place they're in. We need more men touching high things.
I love that.
We should, if we want the state of men to get a little better, we should put little high things all around the city.
They can touch.
And always make it reachable because, ooh, sometimes men get angry quick.
I think they had that in Ted Lasso.
What?
They have like a sign above the door
That they all smack.
that sometimes people touch it. Yeah.
Oh, well,
I could be wrong.
In my football team, before we walked out, we would all slap the sign before we walked out.
It's probably
So-
similar.
It's a sports thing.
Yes.
Because
Sports does get some things right.
they do.
I was watching another video
What?
of like an NBA team, and they're doing a circle, and everyone's taking a turn going in the middle and doing a dance. And they're good dancers because they're professional athletes.
They are good dancers.
And it reminded me, of like playing sports in high school because we had good dancers.
And having fun.
Oh, it's fun every day.
It's this, everyone, fucking, Trump to say locker room talk was like talking about like fucking horrible things.
There's good things that come out of locker rooms too. Obviously, there's bad things.
Obviously, but some of the silliest
100%.
silliest things. That's why it makes me angry because we shouldn't label it as locker room talk. We should have labeled it as fucking abusive, manipulative men.
Yes.
Right? Rather than like misogynists.
Yeah,
misogynist, not locker room talk. Because locker room talk would be literally the idea of someone pretending their belly button could talk. Like that would be locker room.
We had some really silly locker room stuff.
Yes, in high school, that was literally the silliest times were there.
Yeah. And my locker room, actually, there was a huge scandal of bad hazing that happened in that locker. We were never there for it, though.
Oh.
It was the football team who we shared a locker room with. But my soccer team was very silly.
Yeah.
So there is both sides of it.
I would get in my underwear.
A camaraderie around sports that you see, especially basketball, that is very fun and silly. And there's men that are always having to be around men all the time. And they find a way to like, this toxic negative energy is not sustainable. And I think teams find that. I think to be success, you need fun and happiness in that community. And I think that it's nice to see these grown men see that. Obviously, the world and what the conditions that masculinity is this and that. I think some athletes get affected by that, and then they have a lot of money and power, and outside of whatever their job. I'm also just speaking mainly about the Lakers because that's who I follow. And so people get infected with that, I guess, ideology. But at the end of the day, to have a successful team, you need some level of like brotherhood and caring for each other and silliness and fun because you can't go through an 82 game, 40 games on the road. You're on a plane every other week away from your family. You're in hotels without being silly. Well,
that's one of the
having inside jokes and little dances. He does this. LeBron's got a different silly handshake with every single person he's ever played with.
And they are silly.
Very silly.
And that's great.
He smokes a blunt with somebody doing this. He goes to the next guy.
Yeah.
You need silliness every day to be sustainable.
I truly believe everything's too hard for silliness not to thrive.
100%.
Everything is if silliness, I used to think, I do nothing for the world, but giving silliness to the world is one of the most beautiful things you could do.
Absolutely.
Even if it's sometimes not addressing things, but just a moment of levity.
Yes.
Silliness. I mean, I could go on about how much I think silliness is important, but
of course.
I just think that it's one of the things that I think we lose, especially on television now. There's not enough silliness.
Yes.
One of my favorite shows, The Detroiters, is one of the silliest shows I've ever seen.
Yes.
It's so silly. It's so playful, right? And even shows I love, like Gilmore Girls, are silly.
Yeah. It's fun to be silly.
My favorite character. The day after Christmas morning is a silly feeling. Everyone, adults in pajamas, is silly.
Yes.
And isn't that some of people's favorite days of all time?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. People like to be silly. They want to laugh. Nobody's pissed when it actually happens.
That's why Disney adults exist.
Yes.
Because they want silliness back in their life.
Yeah. And they're not that silly. I wish they were more silly.
I wish so too. I wish they went full tilt and just went full costumes.
Yeah.
To the park.
I mean, some do.
I like that.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think silly. The more silliness, the better.
Yeah, and you're great at being silly.
And because I just rather that we take things seriously that have to and be silly around other stuff. You know?
Yes.
Sometimes I do believe in like delineation of emotions. Like when you see those the kids have those lunches and they put the corn in one section and the meat in one section.
That was me.
Yeah, I think that isn't bad sometimes for emotions.
I couldn't have my food touch at all.
That don't surprise me. That don't surprise me. But I went to Carbone.
Okay.
I went to Carbone. It's one that I was lucky enough to get a reservation. And I went with Trina and Frex, two friends of the pod, right? And we had a great time. But my biggest takeaway from going to this exclusive fancy restaurant, Carbone, was how miserable and sad everyone was that's just rich there enjoying the food.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, Manhattan is different.
It's
a weird vibe to be in Manhattan in these spaces that are expensive. Like, if there's a $20 tequila soda, there's going to be an angry man.
It's depressing.
or a sad woman. Like, what are we doing?
I saw so many people literally eating rich Italian food.
Yes.
Which is like rich by heavy, like filled with cream and cheese. A comfort food, miserable sitting there.
Yeah.
And why are they miserable? Because they have a lot of money.
It's infuriating.
It actually makes, as a person that struggles month to month, and I'm there having the talk, because I'm there and this is my big expense for the month.
Yes.
This is my big treat for the year.
Yes.
That was the first time I had a sip of wine all year.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm smiling, I'm having joy. And to watch people that get to experience that every day just sit there miserable.
It's infuriating.
They don't belong in places. I said this about Rayos. We should have a limit.
Yeah.
There should be like, okay, we accept this many people of clout or with money, but then we also have this everymen.
Yes.
Everyday people in these places. Because I was there and I go to the bathroom and a table from the other side of the bathroom stops me and they go, we just had to say, you have such great energy that you are making a smile from across the room.
I mean, that's crazy.
And I wasn't even doing anything.
Yeah.
Brag. That's a little brag. But it's truly.
I think it's more about the vibe of the
yes,
place. This is what should be existing. Italian restaurants should be loud.
It wasn't.
If you're at an Italian restaurant that's not loud, then that's probably not the best Italian restaurant. That would be a marker of a good Italian restaurant. That you have to yell. If there's a 6-person table, person 1 and person 6 should have to raise their voice in order to communicate.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be the barrier.
The Italian restaurants are not only about food, but they're about vibes.
Yes.
Because what's so beautiful about Italian food is loud screaming at each other. Just being
100%.
We want to be a gavone on the plate and out and about.
I grew up, who you sat next to was very important at the Italian restaurant because that's really who all you would talk to.
Because you can't hear.
You can't yell and have long conversations across the big table. We would go out 8, 10 people, and it's like I got to sit next to my cousin that I like, and we're going to be talking the whole time.
And I'm at this Carbone. I feel like I'm in Nantucket.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's what's happening.
I feel like I'm freaking in Nantucket.
Yeah.
And I go, I've waited 35 years to go to this exclusive restaurant. I've waited years and years as a beautiful Italian man to go to a restaurant to indulge my belly and laugh, and I'm surrounded by fucking losers.
Yeah, it's annoying.
And I don't know if people have too many good things that they don't feel it anymore.
Maybe.
Could that be? Do they get numb to?
It's like, what if you're not happy?
Things?
What are we fucking doing? Die. Like, what do you want? Like, not even to be vulgar.
Or just give it up to other people.
Yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate. If I had money, it would be shared with my friends. It would be, we're going on it would be the same shit. I mean, I used to have some extra money.
Yeah.
And I'm planning vacations. I'm like, oh, what can we do to get everybody there? Like, what? I want to bring people together. We're going big out to dinner. Like, let's bring people together. That's all I care about in this world. That's why I wanted to start doing improv shows, all this stuff. I'm like, I love bringing people together to laugh.
That's so fucking annoying. Yeah.
And making people laugh.
And why?
In a big group setting, because that's where I grew up. I don't know. That's like holidays. That's what like you love. That's what you want.
That big energy.
Yeah, of course.
That big energy. And the food was delicious. The vibes were terrible.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I had fun at my table.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. The people, we were laughing.
But it's
we were
just
having a great
uncomfortable
time.
a little bit if you're the only people having fun.
We were clearly the only poor people in the table.
Yeah.
Like I saw people with Ralph Lauren, like the flag sweaters, and I know those are $500.
Yeah. I mean, that's unfortunate. My friend who I used to go out, we loved food. We lived together for years, and his fiance lived in the UK at the time. So me and him would go out to dinner every Sunday, like date night almost. We both love food. We bonded. The first ever conversation we had, I'm working at the library, and he's yelling at me across the library, yo, man, do you know where I could get a good steak around here? He's new to New Jersey. They're not new to New Jersey, new to my college. Yeah. He's like, I need like this and that, like better than Outback. Like, we were thinking about going to Outback. And then me and him went to the Bonefish Grill. That was the first time we hung out.
Bonefish Grill.
We landed on fish. We left the library and went to the Bonefish Grill. My friend who I would whatever, and he's telling me now that people have apps that they pay, say whatever, a couple $100s a month, and then they'll get these fancy fucking restaurants in New York reservations that other people drop. So you're paying a couple $100 a month, and then it's like, he's like, it's ridiculous though, because day of, I'll get a memo at whatever 2 p.m. that 6:15 at 4 Charles Prime Rib opened up, and then he's got to like either rearrange his whole day, or he can't take the reservation. But then it's like, you want to go do it because you're paying a couple $100 a month just to access these reservations. Some people are paying thousands of dollars just to get a reservation. This is the effect of the world that we're living in and we're creating, is just the more we funnel money to a select group of people, like these restaurants only have 500 seats, or no, not 500 seats, maybe 80 seats.
If that's, yeah.
Maybe there's 2,000 seats of great restaurants in New York City, maybe
More.
4,000 seats.
Who knows?
But it's like, there will be 4,000 billion or whatever, 100 millionaires, and those are the only people that access these things. As they get more rich, they're going to price you out of things that we love.
And here's the thing about that. They're not a good time.
No.
Like,
that's like the best people talk about in basketball. It's like, if real fans could go, it would be louder. Like, in there. Like, you think these games are good. Imagine if real fans were there.
It's actually unbelievable that, like, we don't allow people. I saw someone at Carbone eating a salad.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's why.
It made me feel like insane.
To pay all that money. I mean, it's frustrating to be around.
Yeah. And I get that some people can't eat. I don't want to, like, shame, but like in that way, but like, or at least have a good time.
Yes.
I don't need you to drink. I don't need you to eat anything. Like, you do you. I take that back, right? But I want you.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, they're just not. That's not an indulgent thing for them.
Yes.
I'd rather. My dream would be to open a restaurant that's. I mean, I don't want to open a restaurant, but if I was to open a restaurant, like if I was a restaurateur, wouldn't the dream be to open a place that people, average everyday people, got to go to celebrate and have an amazing time?
Yeah. I mean, that's what you would think.
That's not for, like, the wealthy to have their everyday experience, but the average to have an amazing experience?
Yeah. I mean, some people, they'll start businesses and they're like, I want to sell to the rich people. I'm going to make a luxury thing. I'm going to make a luxury this or this.
I hate like luxury.
I roll a little bit. Yeah. I feel you.
I can't.
I mean, it's crazy. It's getting more and more inaccessible, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it was a great. I love the food, and which is sad.
That's good.
And I won't get to go again because
you can get their stuff at Parm. Is good.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if it's the same, but
yeah.
But I was happy I got to experience that. It's because I mean, we're gig workers, Rob.
Yeah.
And like gig workers don't get to go do stuff like that.
No.
Like
they don't want us to have health insurance.
The
Speaker of the House is talking 29-year-old men that sit on their couch and play video games should not be on Medicaid. And look, that's not me. But also it is me.
How so?
That I am who he's talking about.
Yes,
me and you are who he's talking about.
Yeah,
he does not want us to be on government health insurance.
Well, yeah.
They want us to have a job that is 40 hours a week that provides us health insurance so that the government doesn't have to.
And yes.
But more importantly, they want us working. They want us plugged into
the economy.
Into their system. Because if we're plugged into their system, we're not on our microphones talking shit about it. We're in Luigi hats. So that's what they want. They just want people that are their whole livelihood that they can't survive without the system. And we're trying to make it work outside of the system. And part of what makes it work is that we're on government health insurance.
Yeah, that is truly because, you can't get unless you have a good corporate job. Also, the health insurance they give is bad.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, I looked into, like, certain things that I want to do health-wise and, like, certain studies I wanted or tests. And it's like, people flat out on the phone was like, you need corporate health insurance in order to get those things.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I just have to pay $1,000 to see. They're like, once every 2 years,
I'm
you
worth
can
it,
get
babes.
once every 2 years, I can get 20% off eye exam. That's what's on the health insurance.
That's crazy. Yeah, but they truly, because we stepped outside of that.
Yes,
we're not feeding their beast.
He's like, this is for single women, like single moms struggling to feed their family, not for 29-year-old men playing video games on their couch. And it's just funny that he's just like, yeah, your life doesn't matter. Granted, of course, the woman on the single mom should have health insurance.
Sure.
Like, that's a given. But it's just like, yeah, well, let me have health insurance.
We could have health insurance.
My life is a struggle, too. Like, if somebody's on Medicaid, they're not thriving.
I mean, my mom, she always asks, she goes, how close are you to? I said, the SAG insurance.
Of course.
That's all she cares about.
Are you getting SAG insurance? Hopefully soon.
Oh, yeah. That's all my mother cares about is
Yeah.
me getting on SAG insurance, which I get it.
Yeah.
She's
Worried
scared.
About her. Yeah, of course.
She's scared, and
Of
she
course.
should be.
Yeah, of course.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
But
too.
we're all, yeah, the throwing the phrase of playing video games.
It's just to make it
demeaning.
seem, because I do play
Losers.
video games, not every day, but sometimes I sit on the couch and play video games.
And you're allowed to do that.
and I'm allowed to do that, of course.
You're allowed.
I'm like, he's
you're
just
allowed
attacking me for no reason.
You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to have moments of rest.
I have to survive. I still have a job. I teach swim lessons. I try to engage in my community. I spend my money in my community.
Robbie, I
Like,
don't have days off.
Of course.
Like,
no, we work all the time.
What am I doing?
And they want to take the health insurance.
Yeah.
It's just very frustrating.
Yeah, that's insane.
But
I mean,
we are gig workers.
We're gig workers, and I was thinking about this. There's Gilmore Girls. You know, I'm a Gilmore Girls stan.
Yes.
I love Gilmore Girls so much, and I was thinking about Gilmore Girls around this topic. When I watched Gilmore Girls as a kid, you fantasized. You go, who am I? You know, because as a child, I think you put yourself in movies.
Of course.
And I go, who am I? Am I going to be most like Jess, mysterious? Am I going to be like Luke, dependable? And I think all millennials, we didn't realize we're not going to be Lorelai. We're not going to be Rory. Who we're going to be is Kirk. Just a guy that is trying to come up with new gig jobs opportunity while living in his parents' basement and creating art. We all millennials, we wanted to be Lorelai's. We wanted to have this fancy romance, open a small business that's successful. No, that's not it at all. What we are is we're mowing people's lawns with something, with a new invention we created. We're going to places to be like, oh yeah, we sell rings. I'll make a ring for you. That's all millennials have become.
Yeah, I mean, me and you, and the people we're friends with.
And the people we're friends.
A lot of us.
It's actually unbelievable to now be a millennial in your 30s and rewatch Gilmore Girls, and I don't go, Luke, I get you. I go, Kirk, I feel you, brother. Every time Kirk comes on screen, I go, this is the realest shit that's happening in the show.
Is Kirk a fan favorite?
Now he is.
Okay.
He better be.
I love that.
Well, he had that big trend. He goes,
Let me look him up.
Well, he had a big trend that went viral was his short film. He goes, I love your daughter. And then the father goes, what do you have to offer? And he goes, nothing, only this. And he dances.
Oh.
Because he had nothing in his life. You know what I mean? And
this is in the movie.
That was in his short film that he created that he showed everyone.
Okay.
So, but he was just truly a person that was living, that had to live with his mother, that was trying to help take care of her. She took care of him, and he would just have all these random jobs and new ideas of how he could make money while trying to create his art.
That's beautiful.
I mean, who am I
That is
besides
you.
Kirk?
Yeah, that is for sure.
Which is so sad because I was, I guess it's good, but like as a kid, I was like, I want to be brooding like Luke.
Is he a comedic character, Kirk?
He's comedic. And
Okay.
that's what's funny is that like in the past, comedy characters are now just realities.
Oh.
Like this comedic character of Kirk who's like, can you believe how many jobs he has? It's just like millennials like, yeah. Yeah, that's what
the only way to
we
survive.
do.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's like, yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's truly foreshadowing. So that was one of my biggest takeaways rewatching Gilmore Girls. How like this guy that we laughed at who was dealing with gig economy. That's just the real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I believe it. And that sounds like my reality.
Yeah, definitely.
Just piecing together a bunch of different things.
I mean, yeah, living in my mom's house back in the day.
I mean, now you're in your own.
I know. You know what's so funny? People still always think I live with my mom. I just give off that energy.
You talked about it a lot. You talk about your mother, my mother.
I guess I don't hype up like
this place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. Off the pod, I don't.
You're very Staten Island. I guess they just think you're in Staten Island.
I guess so.
Or they hear your accent and they're
Just
like,
a
don't place you in Brooklyn. It is funny.
Offensive.
I know, it is offensive.
It's actually just straight up offensive. It's actually, at the end of the day, I'm disgusted by that.
Like the kid that I'm really close with at work grew up a 5 or 6 minute walk from here. And it's funny to see people surprised by that. They're just like, oh, he's actually from right here. I'm like, yeah. What do you mean? How else could he survive? Like, how else can people survive in these service jobs if they're not living with their family?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
No.
You need your family support.
I wouldn't be here if
Yeah,
I
of
didn't
course.
move back in with my parents after college.
Yeah. If my parents weren't, if I didn't grow up close to New York, like I wouldn't really probably be here.
No.
It'd be very difficult.
At the end of the day, it's rich kids that move to New York or you live with your parents.
Yes. It's impossible to not be subsidized in some way.
Yeah, and I was. And I lived with my parents until I was, 24?
Yeah.
Which was, it got me on my feet.
Yeah, for sure.
I thank them every day. That's why last night was a celebration of my mother.
Exactly.
Because she was there for me at the end of the day.
Yes.
She was there and she stepped up big and she provided.
Yeah. Celebration for the whole fam. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, it was a celebration for the whole family. I do love. There was a lot of great speeches at the Oscars. Sean, Mikey, the best documentary gave a nice speech,
Oh, yeah,
right?
of course.
There was several great speeches. Conan, I thought, did a good job.
Yeah.
He's silly.
Yeah.
He's a
He
man
is
that's
very
silly, and
He
that's
is
what people
silly.
like him.
Yes. He just went up there and did silly,
It's great.
which I love silly.
Me too.
They
right?
hate to see a silly man win. That's what I always say.
Yeah, I think that's good.
They want men to be angry and view everything as like a war or a competition or like
I
super
know.
aggro about things. And it's like, no, silly men can win too.
A good testament to how a man is silly if they have a bad voice but they still choose to sing.
I like that.
That's such a green.
That
that's
is a
such
good
a
green
green
flag.
flag in a guy is if he has a bad voice but he still loves to sing in front of people. That is
a great point.
I guarantee you that guy's kind of beautiful inside.
My king, LeBron, obviously he passes that check.
He does. He
Yeah,
sings.
of course. Remember the video of him at, I think it was his birthday party,
I don't remember the video.
and I'm showing you he's rapping and nobody else is around him,
Oh.
and he's doing this whole dance and song by himself, and nobody else is around him. Last week he's posting on Instagram, "Life is Beautiful." The song he's singing, "Life is Beautiful," with the top down while he's driving in his convertible,
It's so great.
and it's like, yeah, sing.
It's
I
such-
love that.
It's such a green flag, and also to imagine being a man who's bad at singing, and someone goes, "Hey, you want to sing a song?" I don't sing. I'm bad
I
at
know.
it. Right? To be protective of something that you're that you don't feel great at, that you're not willing to just look silly and sing, is such a red flag for me.
I agree.
I don't love karaoke, not because I don't like to sing. I don't think I don't love karaoke for different reasons.
Which is what?
The people that use it as a platform to show that they did 4 years musical theater. When people go up
when you're in a room
with their
them,
diploma.
When you're in a room with them, that's even more tough
Yes.
because it's like, this is really for you.
Yes.
If they can get the audience going on a song that the audience is having fun with, sure.
When a person goes up there in a full room and they start singing a slow ballad,
I can't with that
because
either.
they went to 4 years
I
of
agree.
because they went to musical theater school. I mean, that's why I don't like karaoke. But for men, I think that men that are bad at singing that sing, we should be giving them. We should be going. That's a good guy.
I agree.
I bet you he's
I
a
mean,
good guy.
I love karaoke, and I can't sing at all. And I'm like, it's all about the vibes. You read the room. Karaoke is reading the room and giving the people what they want.
Well, it's just such a skill to be able to be comfortable looking dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Also, that's why I think it's great.
Yes.
It's just such a beautiful thing to be like, he's not scared to look dumb. She's not scared to look a little dumb.
Yes.
Right? Those are the people I want in my life.
Yeah.
And those are the exact opposite of everyone that was at Carbone.
100%.
Everyone at Carbone was someone that was scared to look dumb.
That's
And
very hard to be around.
And meanwhile, I pulled my pants up
I
too
know.
fast as I was peeing at
I-
Carbone.
I look dumb constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I recently I don't think I talked about this on the main episode, but I was at a birthday party and I'm drinking all night, and I got we did karaoke after an open bar. And I got there and I sang Lucky by Britney Spears, huge hit, goes very well. I do it with my friend's girlfriend. We got everybody rolling. I'm feeling good. So I put down Gotta Go My Own Way, High School Musical 2 after that. And then, embarrassing, I don't remember the rest of the night.
Embarrassing.
Which is off the bat. I try not to do that. It was the one
Too
time last year. I was on a good streak.
I'll tell you this, too old.
It was the one time
Too
last year that I did that.
That's okay.
And I am too old.
It's okay. It's okay if we address it's too old.
Okay. It is too old.
Because then that means
It is
if
too
you
old.
don't shame
I was
your
31. I was
if you
31.
don't shame your friends that are in their 30s for blacking out, I don't know
Yes.
what life we're living.
So I wake up the next morning And I asked my friend, I'm like, whatever, how'd I get home? And I'm like, did I end up singing Gotta Go My Own Way? And he's like, bro, you don't remember? And I did a whole duet with this woman that I met that night. And I am scream singing. I get on my knees at one point, and I'm just like dropping my hands. The whole audience is scream singing, and I'm trying to get louder than them. My voice is cracking. It sounds absolutely horrible. It's painful to watch back. And we act it out. I'm like walking up to her. She pushes me away. We do a whole Gotta Go My Own Way scene. Choreo. I fall to the ground with like my hand, scream singing, Gotta Go My Own Way.
Incredible.
Which is fun.
Green
and guess
flag.
what? Everybody loved it.
If only you remembered.
If only that was my big. I've been thinking about it for 2 months. I'm like, I wish I fucking remembered. I gotta go do it again.
If only you remembered.
I can't recreate the magic.
No.
But I gotta go do it again.
Well, I thought the Conan that like people love him, and I think that's one of the reasons why he's not scared to look silly and dumb. And so the great speeches, and I want to speak to Timmy Chalamet's speech at the
SAG Awards.
The SAG Awards. He won for Best Actor, and I kind of loved what he said. He went on stage and he said, "I'm trying to be great." He goes, "I want to be. This doesn't mean I'm one of the greats," which I thought is good. He goes, "But I want to be one of the greats. I work hard at this. Every day I think about this. I worked on this role for 5 years. I want to be up there with the greats, with Viola Davis, Daniel Day-Lewis." He goes, Michael Jordan, Michael Phelps. And there's a lot I love about that. One, to be an artist, you should compare yourself to other people outside of your medium.
Yeah.
I think that is beautiful. All great artists, everyone at the top always talks about other people at the top of their other fields.
Yes.
Not just people in their own fields.
Yes.
They look to other experts.
100%.
So look to other experts is the smartest thing you could do.
100%.
And I think that was amazing. Also, just to be a person that is like, everyone wants to be great. And he's up there saying he does want to be great.
And people don't like that.
I think that we should embrace trying.
Yeah. People don't like that.
Well, we sadly live in a
unless you do it in like a really toxic way.
Yes.
Where you're like, I'm fucking training every day to kill, or like you're really like, I'm obsessed, I'm a psychopath. Like if you can frame it in a negative way, then people like it.
It's insane,
but they don't like the earnest.
An earnest
I'm
try.
Trying, yeah.
We live in a stitch culture, and by that I mean that you do something, and someone just then creates a video halfway through your video, being like, "Ew." That's and like people.
No, you gotta tune that noise out.
No, it's a culture full of commenters rather than doers.
Yeah.
And you say, Seb, you have a podcast. I do.
Yeah, of course.
Like I'm here because
and it's hard to do. It's hard.
Our podcast is never like just pulling up clips, commenting on clips, making fun of people. No. We live and we share our experience.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Half the episode was me talking about my mother.
Yeah, of course.
And but I think that to be a trier in today's world is something hard to admit.
Yeah. It's people don't like it.
Because, I mean, I remember when I started doing comedy, people would, like, make fun of me for it. Because no one wants you to think that it's, like, people read it as like, you think you're better than me?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
I think I was kind of like that a little bit.
What do you mean?
That I was, like, looked down upon people who didn't try. Which I needed to get over and be like, everyone has a different level of what they're trying to do. And I think that if you want to be a teacher and you just pour your passion into teaching, that's beautiful. But some people, they lacked so much passion in college that I would just be very confused by it. I'd be like, how are you not like overwhelmed with passion all the time? And I would look down on some people, and I'm like, you know what? Some people just want to unplug, have whatever they're doing at their life, and then have like a small private life, and they're not like, they don't have huge dreams, and they don't have these big aspirations, or they don't want to be the best teacher in their school. They just want to go to the school, do a good job, come home, have a wife, watch their TV, and I need to be okay with that. It's none of my business.
Some people also some people don't invest in their family life or their friend life either, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're just like kind of neutral. And also I do know that some people that, for me in the past, moments like that, I've been unhappy.
Yeah.
Sadly, you know?
What, when you're not?
When I'm not trying or not.
No, me too.
Yeah. So
I even like,
so I don't
swim
blame them
stuff,
for it.
I get very passionate about the swimming.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel good.
Well,
And people see me. They make fun of me at my job. I get on the floor. I'm laying down towels now. I'm getting on the floor. Yes, I'm getting in the pool, like going with everybody, like making sure that their legs are the right way. And I'm like,
I think that's good.
that's just who I am. Is like I need to give a lot of attention to these people and pour my passion into things.
But we can't judge. I guess we can't judge people for not wanting to have that drive. But we can judge people for judging people for.
Yes.
Like that, I will judge for like you just want to make fun of someone for trying, for caring.
I know.
Anyone that told him to be humble was someone I don't respect at all.
Oh, that's insane.
It's insane.
He's not even being braggadocious.
I know, and people need to hear that. I think. I mean, we've talked about this hundreds of times that actors need to have some pride.
Yeah.
Some pride, so they're not doing a Clash of Clans commercials.
Yeah, I agree. I 100%.
I'll tell you this: Timmy Chalamet's not going to be.
You're right. I haven't seen him in a single commercial
because he's not going to do it because he doesn't care about that. He has enough money. He's not going to do a bad commercial.
I like Timmy.
Me too.
He's from New York. Went to LaGuardia.
I'm about it.
He's
really worn on me.
He's nerdy.
Yeah.
And I didn't like him at first.
Me neither.
I like people that are nerdy. I like people that will intensely go down a rabbit hole of the things that they care about. I mean, not to bring it back to him again, but I'm going to bring it back to him one more time because it was in the news
We're
this week.
going to call this episode LeBron
It was in
and my
the
mom.
news. It was in the news this
Jesus.
week that people were like, oh, LeBron asked for, because he was talking about being the face of the league and how it's hard. Why would anyone want to be the face of the league? He didn't ask for it, and all you do is get shit on, which is true. Okay. Everyone just shits on him. And then people are like, he asked for it. He signed the Nike deal when he was 17 years old. He wore number 23. Like, he got chosen one tattooed on his back when he was a kid also.
Sure. Yeah.
But first of all, him and his mom lived in Section 8 housing, and people are trying to say he signed a $90 million Nike deal because of Michael Jordan. And it's like, he needed, like, what are you talking about? He's 18 years old, trying to help save his family.
Also 18 I hate when
like
people comment.
They make so many judgments of him, of things he did when he was 18, and it's like, have some grace for kids, which is nice in his old age. LeBron has so much grace for, like, younger players, younger generation, like, he's always trying to give back.
That is good. It's good to have grace for people in general because that's how they get better.
Yeah, of course, which he knows.
Like no one made LeBron better for shitting on him.
Yeah, and
we don't make people better by being mean to them.
No.
And same thing for yourself.
Yeah. And he's someone who's very open about, I want to be the greatest. He's given 110% every single day for 22 years of like, I'm so earnestly want to be the greatest, and he just gets shits on.
And he's the most hated probably because he says that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like people were saying, from that young age, it's like, whoa. First of all, he was the #1 basketball and football recruit in the state. Let him put chosen one on his back.
Yeah.
Like, let him.
Also,
he was the chosen one.
I had a friend who got the Statue of Liberty with big titties.
Of course. What are we judging?
Made fun of him.
Yeah, I think it's good to be earnest about what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, me too.
Put it out there.
Me too. So shout out Timmy.
Shout out Timmy.
Do
you have any earnest declarations you want to make before we leave?
Earnest declarations. I'm gonna try to level up right now.
That's good.
That's it.
This is what I think. You want to hear my 2 cents?
All right.
Or do you want to wait for the Patreon?
Wait, go say it at the Patreon because
I think it's good. I think it's good.
Stop. We'll do it on Patreon because my palms start sweating.
I want the general people to hear it, but all right.
No, we'll do it on the Patreon. The general people could hear it if they want.
All right. It'll be in the first 5 minutes. So come over to the Patreon.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you all. Truly.
And thank the listeners. You got Sean DM'd you off of a clip from the pod.
Yeah.
And the pod wouldn't exist without people. We were doing this on Zoom, and people stayed with it from the beginning. From day one, we had a fan base, which is really nice, and people were engaged the whole time.
Yeah.
And we kept doing it until we put lights on it, and then more people started to noticing. So thanks for the people that have been listening to this show for so long.
Yeah, you got me there.
Yeah.
It's
a combination of a lot of things.
Plus the witches.
Plus your mother.
Plus my mother.
Plus your innate talent.
Plus I did work so hard. I gave up most of my early 20s to just do comedy and not do other things.
Well, thank you to the fans for their contribution, of course.
Beautiful, Robbie. Hit the music.